Hello there, I'm Chef Johnny, and this is Texas Style Cuisine. Got a great meal for you tonight. We're going south of the border. We're making tacos, but we're going to do a little twist on them. We're going to bring in some of that southern influence, a little wild game. We're going to make a venison taco with a chili cheese grit. Get started here. I have my pan heating up. We're going to add a little bit of oil to it. Just enough to brown up some onions. Got about a whole medium onion here I'm going to drop in. And maybe use about 3/4 of it. That looks pretty good. Set those to the side. Boy, you hear the sizzles coming on. And we just kind of want to get this started cooking good. These onions are just barely starting to tender. Got a lot of onion flavor in that oil right now, and I'm going to drop about 1.5 pounds of venison burger on it. This is deer meat that we got last year off a little buck we shot. Very good. You can see my video. I have a video on how I make my hamburger meat. So this actually is half venison and half beef. Gonna break this meat up in here. Cut my heat back just a little bit. Start kind of tossing this meat in with my onion. And the reason I put the onions in first is I want to make sure that they are tender all the way through. Once I get this meat kind of smashed down, chopped up good, I'm going to add some fajita seasoning to it. And I never really measure this out. I just kind of put a nice little coating across the top of my meat. And again, Boulder's Fiesta brand. That's my fajita season of choice if I'm not using my own. We're just going to kind of start tossing that in there. This meat's browning up really well. I'm going to add just a touch of chili powder to it. Don't need a whole lot, want just a touch. Because remember, we have chili cheese grits, so I just want to add a little of extra flavor into that meat. Because we're going to have a nice bold grit. We need some meat that'll stand up to it. We're just going to cook this meat down until we get all the moisture cooked out of it. Yeah, there shouldn't really be any oil in there. This is a fairly lean mixture. It's probably about an 85-15, so we should be able to cook the liquid out, get the meat browned some, and then show you how we make these tacos. This meat is browned up real well. There's a little bit of oil down on the bottom that we can drain off of there. But overall, these are looking really well. I'm just going to set this off to the side, put the lid on it. I tell you what, these pans that I have, these are my camping dishes, and they just work fantastic. If you want to see some, they're in my Amazon store. They're called Magma. They're a stainless steel dish, and these are compatible for an induction cooker. So they have a nice heavy bottom, so they hold heat really well. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to turn the heat down some, and I'm going to move my grits back on here. And these are my chili cheese grits. I have a link down at the bottom for y'all to go to this video. It will have been posted up before the taco video, a few days, but we're just gonna warm them up just a little bit. They've been sitting over there for a little while. I'm gonna take a little sample and see how warm they are. Oh, like I was saying, these pans hold heat well. These are still fairly warm. We're gonna heat them up a little bit. That cheese is what kind of has them seize up. I could have left the cheese out for a little while and just did it at the end, but I went ahead and stirred it in because I was making that video for these. I want to show how to do it. So these are looking good. Let me get our taco shells and show you how we put these together. Go ahead and turn the fire off under those. I'm gonna move my cooker over to the side. These are great little cookers. Y'all seen me use them before if you've been on one of my videos before. Got our taco shells coming out. They're just a pre-made taco shell. If you wanted to make your own, totally fine, nothing wrong with that at all. But tonight, didn't want to take the time to do that. But have it, and I'm just gonna take a big spoonful of my, my grits, and I'm gonna put them right down in the bottom of this taco shell. Just like that. We're going to do 3, so let's get our next one. Go ahead and drop the grits down in the bottom. And there's a lot of different fillings you could use. Some people use picadillo when doing this dish. I don't remember exactly what Bonnell used that night. He might have used venison, I can't remember. He does have a recipe for a deer meat in with these grits that you can find in his book. But I don't remember exactly what the recipe is. I just kind of do my own on that. Those are now ready for our ground meat. I'm just going to take a couple of spoonfuls of this ground deer meat, put right up on, kind of mash it down into our grits. Got to be careful these pre-made shells. You can crack them pretty easy, so don't try to stuff them too full. If you're doing your own, you can leave them open a little bit wider. That's what we do, usually when we're making our taco shells at home. But these tacos are looking pretty. And let's do our last one. There's our tacos. We have in our grits, we have in our meat. And I'm going to just put some real pretty red tomatoes up here on top. Just a few. You can tell that plate's not quite level. You hear it rattling around. And now right up on top, just a few green leaves of cilantro. Had a nice fresh bunch of cilantro tonight, so we're going to use that. These tacos are looking beautiful. There's a little spice to the tacos themselves because of the poblano peppers in there. So I didn't add any salsa tonight. You want them hotter? Add some salsa to them. But let's give these a taste and see how they turned out. I'll tell you what, those tacos are as good as I remember. Been a while since I'd fixed these, but I tell you what, they are tremendous. Those grits with the roasted peppers, and you put that cream and the chicken in them, it just brings those grits to life. Very rich, Monterey Jack cheese, cheddar cheese inside there. The deer meat, a little bit of chili powder, fajita seasoning, and then some nice fresh tomatoes and fresh cilantro on top. Just really brings everything to life. So a fantastic, fantastic taco. Hope you give it a try. Try these grits. If you don't want them with tacos, make some shrimp and grits. They work great on anything. These tacos are great. I'll put a link down below for my grit recipe so you can find it. Now remember to tell your friends and family about us. Share us on your social media. And we're going to see y'all down the road on Texas style barbecue and cuisine.
How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.